The commencement of the 2023 season was a dreadful one for Mercedes. The W14 was the fourth swiftest car on the course during the Bahrain race. However, when they arrived in Australia, the Silver Arrows had advanced to the second fastest team, surpassing Aston Martin and Ferrari in the hierarchy. It can be inferred that Mercedes has made progress by adjusting their car setup. However, their primary hurdle is the deficiency in straight line speed that arises from operating the drag reduction system. This indicates that despite improving their overall performance, they continue to face challenges that hinder their ability to compete at the highest level. Given the unique characteristics of the Baku circuit, which boasts one of the loudest, longest DRS-aided straight line stretches in the entire racing calendar, Mercedes is bracing itself for the challenge by preparing a targeted DRS upgrade. This upgrade is intended to counteract the speed deficit they have experienced by enabling cars to achieve greater velocity during DRS-assisted periods and enhancing their competitiveness on the track. Hamilton and Russell have both expressed their dissatisfaction with the car. Hamilton commented that he lacks a sense of connection with the vehicle, while Russell went as far as to describe it as a lame horse. Their remarks indicate that they are experiencing difficulties handling the car and that it's not meeting their expectations regarding performance and drivability. Nevertheless, Mercedes is putting in considerable effort to enhance the car's equilibrium and downforce, which could translate into improved results in upcoming races. It's worth noting that Mercedes has designed a car for the 2023 season that encounters difficulties generating downforce, essential for maintaining grip and stability on the track. Despite this obstacle, the team remains dedicated to maximising the car's capabilities and achieving success on the racecourse. The team's struggle with the rear end issue of the W13 car has led to the phenomenon known as porpoising, causing the vehicle to bounce erratically and unpredictably, which has been a significant source of difficulty for Mercedes. This has impacted the car's stability, speed and overall performance, making it challenging for the drivers to control and manoeuvre efficiently and effectively on the track. In the pursuit of solving the rear end issues, the Mercedes team has created a new problem of having too much front end on their car. This means that their car is now too pointy, and with the lack of rear downforce generation, it can lead to an unpleasant driving experience for both their drivers Russell and Hamilton. In Formula 1 racing, decision making is rarely a straightforward process and often involves some form of compromise. The Mercedes team may have had to make some concessions when attempting to solve the rear end issues with their car. Unfortunately, this has resulted in an imbalanced vehicle with too much emphasis on the front end, leading to a less than ideal driving experience for both their drivers, Russell and Hamilton. Given the competitive nature of Formula 1 racing, it will be quite something to watch how the Mercedes team plans to address these challenges and make further adjustments to their car throughout the season. The ability to fine-tune and optimise their vehicle performance will be crucial if they hope to maintain and remain competitiveness and ultimately emerge as a leading contender in the championship. Contrasting with Mercedes' struggles, Aston Martin has been a surprise performer this season, particularly their MR23 car. Although their vehicle incorporates all of the same Mercedes parts, Aston Martin has been able to perform at a high level and remain competitive with Red Bull. This unexpected success for Aston Martin may indicate that there are factors beyond simply having access to top quality parts that contribute to a team's success in Formula 1. Other elements of the team's approach to racing or overall strategy pay dividends on the track. Regardless, it's clear that Aston Martin has found a way to utilise most of their resources and put itself in a strong position for the remainder of the season. It remains a mystery whether these upgrades will be enough to close the gap with Aston Martin and Red Bull, but it's clear that Mercedes is committed to maintaining their position as one of the top contenders in Formula 1 racing. The remainder of the season promises to be an exciting and closely contested battle between these three teams. In addition to their efforts to address the downforce issues on their car, Mercedes is also set to introduce a new mechanical part in Baku. These new parts will include different suspension components designed to improve the overall balance of the vehicle and make it more drivable for their drivers. By focusing on its car's underlying mechanics, Mercedes hopes to fine-tune its performance and make it easier to handle on the track. These changes complement the team's efforts to improve their car's downforce generation and help them remain competitive with their rivals. The Mercedes and Aston Martin cars have been identified as relatively draggy from an aerodynamics perspective, with attention drawn to the rear suspension of the Mercedes gearbox in particular. By honing in on these areas and making targeted improvements, Mercedes hopes to improve their overall performance and remain competitive with Red Bull and Aston Martin. Of course, the challenges for Mercedes will be finding the right balance between improving its strengths and addressing its weaknesses, with so many factors to play in Formula 1 racing. Even small changes to a car's design or mechanics can significantly impact its performance. While learning from their competitors and making changes to their car's design will likely have some short-term benefits for the Mercedes team, they will need to continue to innovate and evolve to climb the rankings and remain in competitive long-term positions. One potential area of improvement for Mercedes is their power unit, which has reportedly been matched by engines produced by Honda and Ferrari. Given Mercedes' impressive track record in the turbo hybrid area of Formula 1, this is a surprising development that the team will need to address if they hope to maintain the competitive edge. While Mercedes has excelled in areas in the past, the sport is always challenging, and it will be quite a sight to see how the team continues to adapt and evolve in 2023. Despite the challenges facing the Mercedes team, their engineers and designers back in Brackley are working tirelessly to find ways to gain an edge over their competitors. One area where Mercedes have excelled in recent years is in reliability of their power unit, which has been a consistent strength for the team. Mercedes has been eagerly anticipating the Imola package to improve their car's aerodynamic potential, while the minor upgrades are set to be introduced in Baku, which offer the chance to narrow the gap between themselves, Red Bull and Aston Martin, and the Imola package could be a more significant step forward in performance. James Allison, a respected technical mind in F1, has returned to Mercedes. His expertise will be utilised in an advisory role, offering insights and guidance as the team aims to reclaim its position at the top of the leaderboard. Though he has been designated in an advisory role, Allison's expertise and imprints are already being utilised in the team's preparations, with the team currently facing a tough battle against their rivals, the Red Bulls. Allison's contributions are expected to be crucial in helping Mercedes regain their dominance. Mercedes is facing pressing issues that they want to resolve as soon as possible, known as clipping. It refers to the deficiency in the DRS system, which the team has been dealing with for some time. While it's unclear how much of a problem clipping poses for Mercedes, the team is banking on their aero updates to mitigate the issue. The future of Mercedes' team is a subject of much speculation, with fans and analysts eagerly anticipating next moves. According to George Russell, the team's car certainly has the performance compared to a horse faster than Williams. However, as Russell notes, that speed is not the only factor determining success. Finding a car that suits the driver's style is critical. As the team continues to work on upgrades and improvements, they will look for ways to maximise their potential and find the perfect balance between speed and control. The coming races will be an exciting test for the Silver Arrows as they seek to regain their dominance.